And we are live, guys. Welcome to another live stream from Men of High Value channel. My name is Joseph Darling. Today I want to talk about something that I'm truly passionate about. Remember a couple of days ago I said that you either win or you learn. There's no such thing as losing. There's no such thing as failure. Because if you lose, you are learning. And if you're learning, you're winning. The best investors win both in when their times are good and they win when the times are bad. Your job is to just become better than what you are today. Your future self hopefully will always be better than who you are today. You have to trust your future self. You have to know that your future self is going to be okay. Everything's gonna be fantastic. Your darkest hour may be your finest hour. Let's talk about finances for a second. What is the worst thing that can happen if you don't pay your bills? I'm not saying that you're not supposed to pay your bills. Of course, we want to be men of integrity. We want to be men of high value. Yet, who is more important? Your future self or the people you owe money to? And I'm not talking from a selfish standpoint. I'm talking from a standpoint of, I'm going to pay all of my creditors back. I'm going to pay every person every single penny that I owe them. Yet, in order to do that, I have to put my own mask on and make sure that I, myself, am emotionally stable. I'm secure in where I stand. I'm secure in my family. I'm securing myself. I'm making sure that everything is okay with me. Breathe in and breathe out. Because those creditors, I'm going to give them every single penny that I owe them. And they will charge me extra for the time that I don't pay them, so they actually make money on me not paying them back immediately. Okay, so knowing that for sure will help you with your financial mindset of becoming a multi-millionaire, or at least very, very well off. You got to start with the process of, are you in debt? Because if you are, and we're talking now bad debt, okay? Debt that has more than 5 to 10% interest rates. If you're in that kind of a debt, you want to be able to pay that back as fast as possible. And you don't really think about anything else. You don't think about your dreams, about doing this and that and the other. You, okay, that can be in the back of your mind, your dreams. It's important to have that. But the most critical aspect is to pay down everything that your future self will be stressed about. We're going to get rid of all that stress. We're going to become emotionally stable. In order for that to happen, we need to have time and consistency on our side, not on the side of the creditors. Okay, the creditors have invested in us. They've given us a service. They've given us money for us to use. We're going to pay them back, but we're going to pay them back on our terms and the way we want to do things. Alright, so let's say you're now in credit card debt. What do? You set aside a certain percentage of your take-home pay every single month, and you set it aside and make sure that you have it ready to pay. The credit cards are going to go first because you know that you don't want to have those credit cards in the future because time is not on your side as long as you have them. You set aside 10 to 20 to 30% of that money, that take-home pay, and you pay that number one first when you get that money from your employer. If you don't have a job, then get one as soon as possible. Come on. In 2019, this is the best market to get a job ever. All right? Get that done. Number two, you got to secure that you have your house where you stay secured. The reason why you need your rent or your house secured is because it takes it's a hassle to move, okay? If you're renting, it's not that big of a deal. There's tons of options out there of places you can stay. and maybe even more affordable than where you're living today. All right? But, however, you know, it's a hassle. And time is money, so you want to make sure that you can stay in your house. So make sure your rent is prioritized after those credit cards. Number 2, gotta make sure that that food situation is taken care of. You want to make sure that your family is happy with the food intake, and you are also happy with the food intake. And yes, maybe cut down on your food budget, right? Cut it in half, and then see how creativity starts to juice up your mind and your wife's mind or whatever, in order to be more frugal and figure out how to do that aspect. And if you have to fast a couple of days a month or 4 days a month, what's the big deal, okay? As water is basically for free. So just drink a bunch of water and fast for a few days. It's not going to kill you, all right? Next, we have all those creditors that are screaming our name, saying, give us the money, I want the money. Well, guess what? You're going to prioritize the creditor according to the highest fees. All right? You're going to ask them every single one and figure out when will the fee appear and how much is it going to be. All right? And then you're going to prioritize the bills that has the highest fees. The ones that are in the back with the lowest fees, you're going to not prioritize. You're going to let them scream. Did you know that electricity in Norway, you can actually pretty much go a whole year without paying that electricity bill, and they keep giving electricity to you. They keep giving electricity to you until a certain point when they cut off everything, of course. But a year, all right? Just understand that there are ways to prioritize your finances that makes your future self's finances completely in place, and you know that everything is taken care of in the long run. What matters most is what lasts the longest. And you know who's going to last the longest? You are. Your family is. You take care of yourself with the mask on, then you can put the mask on other people and pay your creditors and do what is necessary to keep on keeping on. What's going to happen is that as those creditors scream at you to get their money, you're going to become more creative, right? That's what entrepreneurs do. And you're going to figure out a way to pay them back ASAP. If that requires for you to work a little bit more, that's fantastic, because we love being uncomfortable, because it's in the state of uncomfortability where you will grow. This is the Men of High Value channel. We love being uncomfortable, and I'll see you again tomorrow.